CockFM Radio. It's all about you.
Hello, listener. It's a pleasure to know that you're there listening to us at CockFM Radio Shagam. It's another day, yet another time to bring you another edition of your favorite radio program, Headliners on CockFM Radio. My name is Olufemi Peters. And we're once again going to be looking at the major stories on the cover of our national newspapers today, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. And we're starting off with the Guardian newspaper. Workers demand better pay amid subsidy debt concerns. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian. WHO issues alert as high risk season for meningitis, others setting. Telecoms operators reject proposed supervision by NITA. Stakeholders hailed youth's hustling spirit, advocate innovation to curb unemployment. Those are the other stories on the cover of the Guardian newspaper today. And now, this day, the major story on the cover of this day newspaper is Ganduje to Kwankwanso. God will not allow anybody destroy our new Kano Emirates. Moving on now to the Vanguard newspaper. Today, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. May Day. Alt last minute looting. Labour tasks Buhari. Now, this story has some riders which say indict outgoing governors, ministers. Others insist on resisting further fuel price hike via subsidy removal. Tinubu promises salary increase. Says, I'll give you a living wage. NBA asks Tinubu, others to protect entrepreneurs, grow middle class. Nigerian workers deserve better treatment. That's according to the CAN president. Resist anti-democratic forces. PDP tells workers. Will continue struggle to reclaim stolen mandate. Labour Party assures workers. That's the cover story on the Vanguard newspaper, and that story is on page 3. Very quickly, let's do a rundown of some other stories on the cover of Vanguard. UTME JAM fixes Saturday for candidates who missed exam. Cancer scare while we banned importation of Indomie noodles. That's NAFDAC. Police panel invites suspended Adamawa Rec over Guba poll roll. Oil market. Nigeria's average output drops by 7.6% to 1.3 MB per day. IPPIS pardon, OAGF suspends staff, anti-graft agencies launch investigations. Mayday were committed to workers' welfare. That's according to the governors. It's Nigeria's weakness to allow Ekwerema to serve jail time in UK. That's according to Garba. Egypt opens borders for Nigerian students fleeing Sudan, says federal government. Now let's take a look at what the Nigerian Tribune is saying today. Salary payment will be difficult from June if now the HEF has ellipsis, and that's according to Obaseki. That story is on page 2. But there's an interesting quote here that accompanies the headline. It says, "The economy of our country is in a terrible state. It will be a miracle for the federal and state governments to pay salaries beyond June this year without resorting to massively printing money or removing fuel subsidy. Either of this decision will bring more hardships and pains to us as a people, particularly to you workers." That's a quote from Obaseki. Egypt has opened border to Nigerians fleeing Sudan. That's according to the federal government. El Rufai Abbas split Northwest governors over lobby for positions. Official bullying pattern of judiciary emerging. That's Atiku. Only APC NEC can initiate my expulsion. Lukman tells Adamu bandits killed 518 in Zangon Kataf in 6 years. That's according to the Community Association. NAFDAC begins testing of Indomie noodles today. Lagos approves deployment of e-call-up system of Lekki-Ekpero corridor to ease gridlock. My administration will take tough decisions but fight for workers. According to Tinubu, respect workers' rights. Buhari task incoming government. NLC demands 65 years retirement age. Khan wants better welfare for workers. It's time to prioritize social justice. ILO. And of course, those headlines make the bulk of Nigerian Tribune today. The big story on today's edition of Daily Sun newspaper says, Sudan. Egypt opens border for fleeing Nigerian students. Buhari engages President Sisi. That story is on page 26. And now, the Punch newspaper. Tinubu promises tough decisions. NLC demands new retirement age. Labour recommends 65 years retirement age, 40-year length of service. President-elect seeks understanding, says hard decisions coming soon. That's the big story on the Punch newspaper, and that story is on page 2. Now, the cover photo on the cover of Punch newspaper today is a story of flooding on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Long Bridge. There's an accompanying headline that says motorists stranded as flood takes over Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Long Bridge. That story is on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. We have other headlines here on the Punch too. Sudan, Egypt opens border for stranded Nigerians. Senate presidency. Akpabio meets Buhari, defends ambition. Police, DSS, INEC joint panel invites suspended Adamawa wreck. Subsidy salary payment unlikely after June, says Obaseki. Now moving on to the Nation newspaper. Pay rise coming for health workers, lecturers, others. Funding captured in this year's budget, says federal government. President-elect promises living wage. That's the major story on the Nation newspaper today. Now, Daily Independent, the major story says Buhari tasks Tinubu to continue to respect workers' rights. TUC, NLC caution federal government against heeding IMF economic advice. Say 12 billion naira for aviation ministry to buy 10 fire trucks suspicious. Tinubu says workers will find a dependable ally in him. Forces holding nation down will soon collapse. Obi tells workers. I'm bringing our review to a close today. Tuesday, 2nd of May 2023 is a review of Daily Trust newspaper. The cover story on today's edition of Daily Trust says, I'll give you living wage. Tinubu promises workers. Respect their rights. Buhari tells president-elect. Labour demands better deals. Khan harps on decent working conditions. resist anti-democratic forces, PDP tells workers. All right, and that's all we can take on today's edition of the Headliners on CockFM Radio. I remain your host, Olufemi Peters. For more updates, visit our social media platforms via CockFM Radio Live on Facebook, CockFM on Twitter, CockFM Radio Live on Instagram, CockFM Radio Live on YouTube. Many thanks for listening. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
CockFM Radio. It's all about you.